What's up, FOA Squad? I'm Anthony, and welcome to our channel, Life with Anthony. I hope you guys are doing well out there. So I wanted to come on today because I made a very, very big decision today. It's not a decision that just came out of the blue. It is something that I have been thinking about for the longest time, and I have actually been taking you guys through the entire thought process of me going out and trying to decide which type of vehicle that I wanted to upgrade in. Now, I've always, in spite of what I may have said a few times in the past, knew that if I wanted to live this lifestyle at least until retirement age, which is 5 years from now, that I had to get something different. I mean, just from the physical aspect of it alone, it's not healthy for me to try to stay in my car that long, that period of time, 5 years, you know? And so I knew at some point I needed to get something bigger. The whole thing was, what was that something bigger going to be? Now, I have shown you guys all the different options that I have been thinking about, from travel trailers. I recently showed you guys a few cargo vans at that dealership. I also recently showed you guys a conversion van. I just also talked about adding a cargo trailer as opposed to a travel trailer to the back of the car. And just every option that I was thinking about, and I took my time to try to go over those options with myself to try and make, when it came down to me actually deciding what type of vehicle that I would like to upgrade to, you know, I wanted to make sure that I did some homework on different choices, and I think I did a really good job at looking at all my options and also sharing a lot of those options and thoughts that was going through my head with you guys. But I now know what type of vehicle I'm going to try and get, because there are going to be, or will be, something very important that will determine whether or not if I'm going to be successful at purchasing this type of vehicle. Now, the type of vehicle that I'm going to try and get is a Class B RV. Now, I know, but once again, that was all about me exploring and going through in my head that, you know, the different options. But there are 3 reasons that I had to, or 3 questions, I should say, that I had to ask myself when before coming up with a definite answer of, yes, I would like a Class B RV. And the first one is, would I be able to afford an RV if by any chance my YouTube channel, I don't want to say tank, but my YouTube channel starts to decline, and afford that with a part-time job, because I hope that I don't have to ever work a full-time job. So, and the other thing to keep in mind, that if our YouTube channel starts to decline, it's not like I'm going to have $0, because I will not let myself get down to $0 before taking action. So it's something that I am going to recognize very quickly if it starts to happen, and I'm going to take action on it. So that's the first thing I had to ask myself. Would I be able to afford an RV if I had to get a part-time job? And the answer is yes. It is definitely yes, because as I just stated, I will not let myself get down to $0 before I'm deciding, oh my God, Anthony, something needs to be done. You need to do this, you need to do that. No, that's not going to ever happen. So yes, I do think that I would be able to afford the RV if things starts to decline here. The second reason is justifying the use of an RV. And see, and by that I mean I would be using, I would try to be justifying the cost of an RV versus, how much I would use it. It's not like I'm going to have a house and I'm only using it seasonal and I'm parking it in my parking pad at my house or something and I take it out 3 or 4 times during the camping season. This is something that I am going to be using daily. So I look at it as an investment. I look at it as me buying another home. And because I'm going to be using it, I know, for at least the next 5 years to come, I think it is worth getting and worth having. And the second thing, the other thing that goes along with that is this. The lifestyle that I'm going to work on having is the campground lifestyle. I mentioned that to you guys before, that is the lifestyle that I enjoy. I love those that relaxed atmosphere of the campgrounds and RV parks. Well, I can't say RV parks yet because I've never stayed at an RV park, but at least the campground environment. And so I think it's only suitable that, an RV would fit that much better than a minivan, a cargo van, and not to mention that having an RV will not restrict me to any type of campground or RV park. I would be able to go in any of those. And because that is the lifestyle that I am going to be pursuing starting next year full time, I think having an RV would be great for that lifestyle. And last but not least, the other thing is, and this is why I say try to purchase an RV, and that is the financial aspect of it. Now, I don't know how banks are going to react because I know a lot of the big time YouTubers who have been successful can probably go to a dealership and drop $100+ down on an RV and drive it right off the lot. I am unfortunately not in that position to do so, and I have to finance a RV. So I am worried or concerned, not worried, but concerned of how banks are going to look at my income as a YouTube content creator, and will they see that I'm going to be able to afford it. So that's my big concern. I did speak to a finance representative at Hyundai about 3 weeks ago, or however long that was, and I asked them how would that work and what would I need to do to give to you to present to the banks to try to get finance. And he was kind of stumped about it because he had never had a situation like that before. So he was just throwing out what he thought ideas that the bank would need from me. I mean, it's not too much I can give the bank to just show that, this is the income or the earnings that I have been making the past 5 months with my YouTube channel. Who knows? The banks might tell me, okay, you need to be doing a little better for another few months, and then we might consider giving you, financing. I don't know yet how that may turn out. The only thing I can do is possibly just go to my bank and say, hey, can you give me some type of printout of my earnings, my Google AdSense earnings, so that I can take this to the dealership and say, hey, this is my way of, and this is the way I earn my money now. And, so my guess is that I think I would be able to get finance because the earnings that I make now versus the earnings that I made when I was working, there is a significant difference in it. So I'm hoping that they will look at, even though it's just been about 5 months since our channel, the growth of our channel, um, I'm hoping that that's enough for them to say, okay, this guy can afford to an RV. So the financing is a concern, not on my end, because I know that I can afford it. Again, whether it's with the YouTube channel or it's me working a part-time job, I know that I can afford it. But, they're not going to take my word for it. Lots of people probably walking in thinking that they can afford something and can't. So we'll see how that works out. So those are the three things that I had to ask myself, and come get a firm answer with myself. Can I afford it with a part-time job? Can I justify the cost of it? I look at it as an investment. I look at it as me going out and looking and buying my next home. And the other part is a little bit of concern about the financing of it. I do know this, that if I am able to get finance for it, I know that just as I had that goal for getting my car paid off, I'm going to have that same motivation, that same drive to get an RV paid off for. So we'll see how everything goes. Now, with that being said and all of that out of the way, now it comes down to which type of RV do I want. I mean, I know I want a Class B, but which brand of a Class B RV that I want? And you guys know I recently went to the Maryland RV show. Didn't see anything too exciting in the way of a Class B. Then again, I wasn't really focused on a Class B, but they did have a couple of them there. So from this point on, it is about deciding which one, weighing my options in terms of cost, in terms of things I need, things that I can live without, cannot or may not be able to live without in an RV, because I know that I'm going to have to compromise on some things. It's just like buying and searching for a traditional home. You're never going to get everything that, or more than likely you will not get every single thing that you would want in a home. And that's the way I am approaching the RV search, that I'm not going to get everything that I'm looking for. But the one thing that I do find consistent when I look at RVs, Class B RVs, is that none of them really have a lot of counter space to prep and cook with. I mean, and I've gone in a lot of RVs throughout the years, and none of them, so hopefully I can find one that has the little pull-out section that gives me a little bit. If not, I just have to find other options, whether it's to just put out a table when I cook and use that as extra prep space. And the other big deal for me, and that's a big deal, you guys know, because I love to cook. So definitely going to look at that. And the other big deal for me is the bed. As much as I would love a bed that is permanently fixed and I don't have to take up and take down, I am slowly coming to terms in my head that I may not have or may not be able to get one that in my price range, if I'm able to get finance, that has that permanent bed. I may have to settle for one that I have to put the bed up and put the bed down. But if it comes down to that, I'm not going to say, okay, I don't want any RVs because of that one factor. I will just have to make the best decision for the best one that is in my financial range and go with that one. There are some other little things that I would like to have. Like I did see one was the Soulless Pocket. They have a new RV because the Soulless Pocket is known to have the pop-up top, but they came out with one that does not have the pop-up top because I personally would not need the pop-up top. I mean, if it's already tall enough for me to stand up in at my height at 5'2", I honestly don't see the need for a pop-up. I'm not going to sleep up there, you know, even at the campgrounds or whatever. So I don't see the need. And when I saw that they had one that they didn't have the pop-up, it interests me. But again, I don't know how much that one is going for these days. Well, anyway, guys, that's my thought. That's my decision. I'm tired of going back and forth in my head of what type of vehicle. Now, the only way that this is going to change and I am not able to get an RV is that the financing doesn't go through. If the financing doesn't go through, I'm honestly thinking of just getting a minivan and calling it a day, getting a minivan. All right, so guys, that's my decision. I feel really excited about my decision because again, it's something that I have been going back and forth, not going back and forth, but something that I have just been exploring my options for the past at least 2 months. And it was time for me to make a decision and move forward with a decision. And that is what I have done. I'm excited and I cannot wait. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm hoping that I can get something prior to Michael and our road trip. I'm hoping to get something. I will be back in Baltimore on Monday to get this teeth start working on. And then from there, we'll see how the dental fits in with the schedule, or I should actually be saying the opposite way around. But, you know, we have dates and stuff for the road trip. So we'll see how all of that fits in line. But nonetheless, guys, that is it. I'm excited. I hope that you guys are excited for me. And the last thing I want to say is that my decision to get an RV was not influenced by any other van dweller who have an RV. It has nothing to do with them. It's all about me and my life and the way I want to live my life for the next at least 5 years until retirement. And this is the best thing that I feel will help me to, you know, live my life as comfortable as possible as a van dweller. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. As always, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to watch my videos. I appreciate you guys, you know that, and I'll see you guys the next time.